Welcome back to the Northern Steel Podcast episode 38. Episode 38. I'm your host, Dominic. This is Chris. As always, we are back. We were celebrating our first winning streak of the season, and we have already lost it.
Back to reality.
Very, very good. We lost this past week against the Baltimore Ravens in one of the most frustrating games I've ever seen, but more on that in a couple seconds. First, we'd like to go over the highlights. So, if you happen to miss the game because you were too busy searching for gold, but not finding anything but used dentures, we got the highlights just for you. Coming right now. Ish. Okay, right now. All right, you know the drill. Another week of highlights. Another week starting off with a Kenny Pickett or not. No sack. Kenny using his wheels for a big gain. If there's no Lamar in this game, then Kenny the Jet Pickett will take over. But the Ravens heard that and said, "Don't ever disrespect our quarterback like that again," and grabbed Kenny's face mask for no flag and slam him into the dirt. Get up, Kenny, please. On the Ravens' next possession, they drive into field goal range, and Mr. Automatic himself makes it 0-3, Ravens on top, and becomes the Ravens' all-time scorer. Color me shocked.
Ravens find themselves 1st and 10 at the Steelers' 48-yard line. Lined up in the pistol, Huntley does what becomes a common theme in the game and hands the ball off to J.K. Rowling? No, J.K. Dobbins, as he stabs through our defense just as Harry Potter did to Tom Riddle's diary with a basilisk fang. Did I just make a Harry Potter reference? Because that will entertain me more than these highlights? Of course I did. Then Huntley gave Dobby the football so he could be freed as he takes it into the end zone. 10 points for Ravenclaw. That didn't make sense. Will I ever stop making these references? Did Harry ever put his name in the Goblet of Fire? Will the Steelers ever be good again? The world may never know. Ravens go up 10-0 late in the first quarter.
Well, because of Kenny Pickett's unfortunate injury, it is now Trubisky time. Because Kenny is out for the rest of the game. But he is used to starting, so I'm not that worried. And right away, he eases my nerves by throwing a bomb to George Pickens. You know, maybe Mitch might win the starting job back playing like this. You never know. I know, but you might not know. And now with our first and goal on the one, thanks to a DPI by the Ravens, Najee Superman dives over the pile for a touchdown. It is now 7-10, Ravens on top, but things are looking up for this offense. Mitch comes in, and they immediately score a touchdown. He was aggressive. I can't possibly see how this thing falls apart. In fact, I wouldn't believe it if you told me it did.
We're gonna keep on running all through the Steelers defense. We're gonna keep on making Chris sad. You know what? I'm tired of only watching negative plays. 2nd and 8, Mitch fires a laser over the middle to Raquan Smith as the Steelers turn over the ball, and I turn a new page in my life as I vow to never name my child Mitchell. Ravens then continue to depress me on their next possession as Huntley is in the backfield. It is 3rd and 7, and he throws a deep pass to Deshaun Jackson to get them within field goal range. And then Justin Tucker, Mr. Automatic himself, makes it look easy as the Ravens go up 13-7.
But you know what, Chris? Mitch only threw one pick. It wasn't even his fault, really. And now they're in scoring position again with 20 seconds left in the half. Let's redeem ourselves, Mitch. God, again! In scoring position? Over the middle? He was triple covered. Okay, calm down, Dom. The defense has been holding the Ravens thus far. Still a 6-point game. And now the Steelers have the ball in Ravens territory. 1st and 10, let's just keep driving. Oh, my dude! 3 times? 3 picks in Ravens territory? Do you want to play football ever again, Mitch? Do you actually like titties? God damn it. Wasted 3 scoring opportunities I don't know how this can get any worse. Later in the fourth, the Steelers have to settle for a field goal to make it a 3-point game. At least I can trust Boz for some points. Blocked. Oh my God, they blocked it. That's back. That's it. Pack it up. Burn it down, Chris. I'm done. Game over. Take it away. I don't care the Ravens kick the field goal. Take it away.
Yeah, they kicked the field goal. I kicked my dreams of ever being happy again. Steelers go down 16-7. But wait, knowing we need to score quick, Mitch fires a deep ball to Deontay Johnson as he puts his head down, runs under the ball and catches the ball to make a great play. And we get a gift as roughing the passer is called and we move further into Raven territory. The drive continues and Mitch finds Connor Hayward with his reliable hands over the middle of the field to become first and goal. And then later, on second and goal, Mitch fires a pass to Pat Freiermuth as he goes in for sixth, and my hopes start to rise a little bit. Not even gonna lie.
Wait, are you telling me, Chris, that we actually might have a chance in this game? Is that what you're telling me, Chris? Are you telling me that we're only losing by 2 points right now, and all we're gonna need is to get the ball back and stop them? Is that what you're telling me, Chris?
I think that's what I'm telling you. I think it sounds pretty easy to me. What do you think?
Well, all we need is to stop right here. A third string quarterback, they're gonna run. Please stop. No. Come on, the Ravens. You gotta stop the run. Ravens win 16-14 in a game the Steelers should have won. See y'all next week. And that is how the most frustrating game of the season ended up.
It's just painful. You know, I mean, it's one thing for Kenny to get hurt and to go on his second concussion protocol of the season.
Yikes.
But for us to lose a game by 2 points when Mitch threw 3 picks all in enemy territory and we had a blocked kick. Dude, I don't even care. Honestly, yeah, I'll get into the picks in a second. But even that blocked kick, that would have been a difference maker. 17-16, we would have won the game. We deserved to win that game.
In a sense, we did deserve to win that game, but turnovers make it so you don't deserve it, right?
Yeah, you know, I thought about that.
And even if you don't count the blocked field goal, and if every drive in Ravens territory stalled and didn't get into the end zone, and that's 4 field goals, you're looking at winning by 10 points there. Could have won the game by 10 points. Could have been 26-16. Oh, it's just, it was brutal. I think we've been talking, Chris, about how, you know, at this point of the season, it was exciting to win the games, and we liked being on that, 2-game winning streak. But, you know, it doesn't really matter, right? Because we're like, if we keep winning games, if we win all the way through, if we win out, we maybe could have made the playoffs. But we probably would have been a first-round exit.
Oh, yeah. All I got to say is...
I was going to say, if we lose, then the draft pick's higher. So it's like who, you know... It was frustrating at the time to lose that game, Chris, but it's different than other seasons. I haven't dwelled on it all week. It is what it is.
You know, I used to view it as a double-edged sword, but now I think I'm viewing it a lot differently now because you're right. I mean, we win, and obviously that makes me happy week by week, but in a way it takes away from potentially helping our team out more with this draft. And then if we lose, I feel like I handle it a lot better because we get a higher draft pick. So, optimistically looking everything, it's not the worst case, but like, man, each week has been fine. It was this last week that just really did it for me as far as like, that was the toughest loss I've seen all year. And, we actually, we actually set a record, not necessarily a record, but an interesting stat. There have been 2 QBs who have come into this season who have entered in place of their injured starting quarterback and have thrown 3 picks in that game. And those quarterbacks are Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky now. So I just got to say, the Steelers are pretty good at getting their names out there.
So let's briefly talk about Usually we like to dissect the offense and defense. I don't think there's really much to say for both sides. Maybe a little bit more on the defense, but I think this loss is a total team effort. A lot of yins out there seem to disagree. Let me paint the picture for you. Let me put some knowledge into that small brain of yours so I can let you know why it's on both sides of the ball. Obviously, offense, Mitch Trubisky throwing 3 picks and still having a chance to win the game. Well, first pick, mostly Steven Sims' fault, but that's on coaching, not really Steven Sims. Either one play or 2 plays every single week this year. Receivers are running in the exact same spot on the field, and he ran Roquan Smith right into the path of that ball. Interception 2 is Mitch's fault. Stared down Freiermuth the entire time. Didn't take a different option. He was triple covered, threw it right to the guy. Third pick is Mitch's fault. There was nobody really open on that play. He decided to take a shot, but the safety can make the ground to cover. He could have threw the ball outside more. People get mad because you're like, oh, he's taking a shot. Well, we've already thrown 2 picks in the opponent's territory. At this point now, protect the ball. Shot or no shot. That's also on a 1st and 10. I get mad, of course, when we throw a shot on 3rd down too. So then you might be thinking, well, when's a good time to throw a shot? A good time to throw a shot is when you already don't have 2 picks in the opponent's territory.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to try. Yeah, I was just going to say it's one thing to try to get the ball moving down the field and to kind of gain that momentum. But like you said, you're playing the small game at that point. You're playing the protective game at that point. It's still a 1-possession game, and all you have to do is try to go down there and score any way you can. And especially there for a while, our defense is holding them. Even if we turn, 2 of those picks into, ending drives where we could at least attempt a field goal. I mean, that's 6 points right there. The missed block or whatever, that's another 3 points. So that's 9 points. It's a completely different game. You just got to play a lot smarter, and you can't be taking those risks that deep in the game when you already have those picks against you.
Now, Mitch was being aggressive, which is fine. He came out and fired and made some great throws right off the bat. But once those 2 picks happened, pull it back.
Yep.
And we just couldn't recover from that. But eventually he did get a touchdown and left it on the defense's door. Now, here's why it's also the defense's fault. A lot of people are saying, how could it be the defense's fault? They only gave up 16 points. Yeah, they gave up 16 points to Tyler Huntley, and then a second half football played by Anthony Brown. Was that his name?
Yeah,
Anthony Brown Jr.
I think so.
And he's a 3rd-string quarterback, and I don't even know if he threw many passes, but they were going to run the ball the whole time. They're going to run the ball. The defense got outclassed, outmanned. They lost on all their physicality running the ball. Even in that last drive where the Ravens get the ball and all they need is a 1st down to seal the game, and we're not stacking the box, they're going to run every single down. Do you think they're truly going to trust that quarterback to throw the ball for the 1st down? I mean, maybe, because John Harbaugh is kind of ballsy like that, but probably not. But the line was just getting pushed around all day. 200 rushing yards they let up. And again, we've talked about before, highest paid defense in the league. It's pathetic, Chris, to let up that much. I don't care that they only scored 16 points. That was awful.
It really is. And to kind of put numbers behind what you're saying, I looked up the stats, and Anthony Brown threw 5 times. He was 3 for 5 in the time that he played for 16 yards. And aside from that, he the whole game was all about running. You knew they were going to run, even with Tyler Huntley, because Tyler Huntley only had 12 attempts. So altogether they were 11 for 17. 17 total passes in a game, and they had 42 rushing attempts.
Right.
And those didn't all come late. They didn't come in the 4th quarter. That was happening throughout the entire game. So, I mean, come on, guys. It's stack the box, do whatever you can. But, I mean, you know what they're going to do, especially on that last drive. Are they really going to trust a 3rd-string quarterback to get that 1st down? No. I wouldn't too, because even at that point, you're trying to get rid of timeouts, do whatever. I don't know. So, know they're running, adjust to it, and then stop them.
Right. So obviously, we always talk every week. We'd rather watch them win. It doesn't matter if they win or lose, right? Because it just doesn't. I like watching them win. It's probably better if they lose more games for the draft pick purposes because there's a lot of holes to fill. But Chris and I are going to root for them to win. However, they're going to have a lot of holes to fill, and Omar Khan is going to have a lot of work to do this offseason. We're talking offensively. We're talking offensive tackle, a true offensive tackle number one. We're talking left guard. We're talking a slot receiver. We're talking, on the defensive side, we're talking about a nose tackle, an actual defensive tackle. Because we don't have one. All is supposed to be that guy. He's too old. He's getting pushed around. Travis Adams is not that guy. We don't have one. We need a solid, another defensive line piece. Ogunjobi played really well at the beginning of the season. He's getting pushed around right now. He's not playing that well. DeMarvin Leal was hoping to be that guy. They're playing him at edge. I don't know why. Bad coaching.
Yeah.
We're going to need another edge player because it's TJ and Highsmith and then nobody. We're going to need a off-ball linebacker, middle linebacker who's better in the run game because we don't have one right now. We were hoping Miles Jack would be that. We were hoping Brian Flores would help them out. And they've had flashes, but it seems like they're winding out. They're burning out because both the past 2 weeks, the running game has been terrible. We need a true number one cornerback. We like Levi Wallace, but he's a good number two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, we need a new offensive coordinator. Still believe that.
Oh, wholeheartedly.
We need a new offense and probably defensive coaching staff. Lots and lots of holes to fill. Lots of holes.
So, we got to the point to where we're just watching for progression and to see how people are doing. I feel like even though that's still the case, it's getting frustrating to watch certain parts of it just because, like you said, we are the highest paid defense and we're getting tossed around in all areas. And honestly, it's looking, our run game's looking a lot like last year's, which is pathetic because we were last in run defense and everything. And I don't understand where that's coming from. Obviously, there's a lot of bad coaching, like you said, but there's a lot of team needs that we need, and it's going to be a really interesting offseason coming up.
It's getting tiring, Chris. It's getting very tiring. It's been this way the past couple of years. We're also a team nobody's afraid of anymore. We're not that physical. The most physical game we've played in years, probably, was the first half of football against the Cincinnati Bengals week 1 this year. The aggression, the anger, that was the most aggressive I've seen us play in a very, very long time.
Agreed.
And that was fun to watch. But we're not a team that people are afraid of. There's a lot of questions, a lot of spots to fill. Maybe even coaching, head coach too. I don't know. Is Tomlin stale? Is this like the Andy Reid of Philadelphia Eagles? There's time. Andy Reid obviously was still a great coach, but it was time for them to move on. Andy Reid succeeded elsewhere. Philadelphia found their success as well. Is it time for the Steelers to do that? Maybe it is. It's getting stale, Chris. It's getting old. It's honestly, this podcast, this is the first year we're doing this podcast. It's been fun, but but the season is, I'm getting tired. Getting over it.
It's hard to constantly find things to talk about, because you always try to look at the positives and it's becoming a lot more, I feel like, of a rant every week than anything else.
And about the same stuff.
Yes.
Which is crazy because the fans, if you're listening out there, I know you guys rant about the same things too every week. So what's the disconnect? Why are the coaches every year like, we're just going to keep pounding our head against this wall until something changes, but it doesn't change. The results stay the same. So it's getting tiring. It's getting old. Quite depressing, to be honest.
True.
With that being said, moving on to Carolina. Play the Carolina Panthers this upcoming week. The last time we played the Panthers, I was at that game in Heinz Field, actually. 2018, Ooh. Big Ben threw more touchdowns and incompletions. It was a very, very fun game. Juju had a long touchdown. AB had a long touchdown that I missed because I was eating a nacho. That's how fast that play happened. But don't worry, all the Yinzers around me, great atmosphere, were able to pick me up. Literally picked me up out of my seat, to show me where the play was at so I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun game. They won 55-21, I think, or something like that.
It was a great game, and thinking about Panthers because it's in Carolina, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if Jay is gonna go.
Who?
Jay from our podcast earlier.
Oh yeah, Jay. I wonder if he's gonna go.
Yeah,
he might be going.
Yeah, I might need to reach out to him, kind of see if he has tickets for this game, and I don't know, maybe catch his thoughts on it. So if you're listening,
sure.
Jay, if you are going, best of luck. I hope it's everything that you wished for and more. But just try to enjoy it.
And if you're not listening, Jay, how dare you? I thought we had
After everything we've been through.
So Carolina, Chris, let's talk about them. Let's wrap. Here we go. Let's talk about, surprisingly, let's talk about Carolina first.
Okay.
Let me set this up before we get into our favorite segment. Carolina, who was a train wreck at the beginning of the season with Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker, and Sam Darnold, and their coach. They got rid of Baker. They got rid of Christian McCaffrey. They got rid of their coach. Since then, undefeated.
Has it been?
I think so.
Because they lost to the Ravens like 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Since then, fake news. I don't know. Since then, I thought
they've
it was
been a lot better.
Maybe I read the stats right. Maybe actually, you know what? I think I know why. Okay, they fired their coach after 1-4, and since then they're 4-4. But I think I read that as like, I don't know why. The math doesn't make sense. Look, guys, I'm tired. I got 2 kids. I think I read that as like 1-4, and they've won 3 straight. They're undefeated, and now they're 4-4. But we're in week 14, guys. Can't be 4-4. Come on, what are you guys thinking? Pay attention to the football. God.
Yeah, seriously.
But
surprisingly enough, Carolina does somehow find themselves second place in their division. And what a garbage fire of a division of what they got. Of course, Tampa Bay is leading it. Barely. I think they're, what is it? They have a 6-7 record, and Panthers are a game behind with 5-8. So, I mean,
just like us.
That division's up in the air. Panthers could still somehow make the division and win their division and make the playoffs. They're not going to go far by any means, but who knows? They're kind of playing good football at the moment, so we'll see what happens. The Seahawks. Yeah.
So, again, no easy game. But with that, Chris, also we don't, right now, as of today, Wednesday, we do not know who the quarterback is. Does that matter, Chris?
No.
It does not. A lot of you fans out there like to think it matters. Where I see people arguing online. You gotta play Mitch again. He was aggressive. No, you gotta play Mason Rudolph because he hasn't got a chance. Guess what, guys? Who cares? Because wins and losses, like we just talked about, who cares? We're not making the playoffs. We're not. Who cares about winning record? I'm sorry, Chris. I'm just ranting.
No, you're good.
About this.
You're good.
Who cares? Who cares?
I agree with you. All I was going to say is Alex Kozora actually tweeted and sent a video out of Zach Gentry and his high school highlights of being a quarterback. If Tomlin wanted to take a shot and just be like, hey, Zach, you're 6'8", do you want to play quarterback? I'd be like, sure, because it really doesn't matter, right? Like,
and Kenny Pickett practicing today, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense at all. I really don't understand how that happens. I do not understand NFL protocol as far as concussion goes. But you know what? This is why I'm not a doctor in the NFL. So I'll leave it to them.
And honestly, bro, Zach Gentry could play quarterback this week, and I still wouldn't care.
I mean, it would save us from a horrible tight end screenplay to him. So
very true. Unless he throws it to himself.
Yeah, the old Brett Favre, huh?
The old Marcus Mariota?
The old... did Michael Vick do that too?
I don't know. Who knows? That's the only 2 people I know.
Fair enough.
But anyways, that's kind of the quick level news on the game. But now to our favorite enhanced segment of the week. Take it away.
Keys to the game. We're coming into the keys of the game. Okay, so
Who cares? I'm just kidding.
obviously, yeah, honestly, key of the game. Who cares? No. Moving into it, like we said, Carolina has been kind of on the upswing as far as momentum goes. They're a good football team, and they're kind of, they're fighting for a chance to play. So it's going to be a hard game for us to win, especially on the road. However, the last two games we've been on the road were both wins. Maybe we can keep up the win streak. Plus, we've been playing better against the, what is this, NFC South?
Yeah, this if we beat them, we would sweep the NFC South.
So, what an accomplishment. Woohoo, beat the best.
The worst division of football.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I'll take it because it'll make my Sunday a little bit happier. Anyway, moving into it. Keys to the game. We don't know who our quarterback's going to be. That should not matter. Hopefully, we can establish a run game for ourselves. Whoever is playing at the quarterback needs to play the conservative game and just try to get the ball moving down the field. Last week was a huge indicator as to why keeping the ball safe is so important and why Kenny's streak of consecutive passes was so pertinent to our win streak, because believe it or not, people, you don't turn over the ball, you have a pretty good chance of winning. So keep the ball safe, establish a run game, whether that's with Najee, Jalen, whoever it is, get it moving. And the second thing I got for that is tear down their run game. It's the exact same situation we're running into last week and the week before. The Ravens had a great run team. Atlanta had a great run team. Carolina is coming off of a 223-yard rushing attack against Seattle. Now, I have no idea how Seattle's rush defense is. They could be ranked dead last for all I care. All I know is that never mattered for us, because if we played a team that was dead last, we would be dead last running that week, because that's just how we play. So anyway, we need to shut down their run attack. Sam Darnold, I don't believe, is going to go off. He hasn't had a going off game in quite some time. And honestly, I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. Just try to stop them their run game, stop their momentum, stack the box, do whatever you can. Just play better, coach better to attack that area. And then that's about what I got for keys to the game. Dom, do you have anything to add on to those?
Yeah, I think it boils down exactly to what you said, the run game for both teams. I think the Steelers need to establish a run game, and I think they need to stop their run game. I don't know a lot about the Panthers' run defense in terms of players on their team, but I do know that their secondary, more specifically J.C. Horn, and he's a very, very good cornerback. Obviously, J.C. Horn will be lined up on DJ. DJ's tough to cover in general, right? But Mitch, Mason, Kenny. The strong suit potentially is probably the run game here. It really is. Establish a run game. Naj, Jalen, Benny, Ray McFarland up. I don't care. Run the ball. Defensively, like you just said, Sam Darnold, I'm also not afraid of. I mean, of course, every week we say that. That's the week they go off for 300 yards and they pass for 3 touchdowns. But I'm not. But they have DJ Moore and he's really good. We'll probably get up 100 yards to him, but I'm not really worried about the quarterback itself. It is about the run game. It's about Dante Foreman and their rushing attack, and they have a good, decent line as well. They've invested into that line the best they can. And it's about trying to slow that down, trying to get a push with the D lineman that we have. Be able to assert yourself, assert some dominance, because it's making me sad for people like Cam Hayward, who might end up leaving because he's just getting older and he needs a ring, and he deserves a ring.
He does.
And they're getting pushed around. So I agree. I think it all stems from the run game. I agree with you completely with protecting the ball on our side. I think Sam Darnold, in the past, he's seen some ghosts. He's going to need to see about 6 more for us to win this game. But I think we need to create some turnovers. I think it's going to be tough in a different aspect, not just because the Panthers are finding their footing and becoming a tougher team. I think this team is honestly pretty depressed right now. I think this is a Steelers team that has coasted on their ego and their pride for a very long time with Big Ben at the helm. Mm-hmm. and they can't believe that they're in this position. And now it's like, what are we fighting for? Do we deserve to make the playoffs? What are we even putting ourselves out there for? I think, hot take for you, that TJ Watt shouldn't play anymore this year. And I love TJ.
Yeah. I don't know if that's really a hot take either. I think everyone's noticed how affected his injury has hurt him, and how I feel like it's one thing to another. It went from pec to ribs to knee to, it's not his year. And I don't think that has, it doesn't mean he's a bad football player. I just think he's been playing really injury prone because he knows that we need him, but like, we need him long term. This year is already gone. This year's done. There's no reason in making yourself worse or being out longer. So I agree. Rest.
Yeah, I agree completely. We need him long term. And as much as I was excited to see him get like 8 sacks this year to break the Steelers record, it's not happening with the injuries that he's had. No. And it's just going to have to wait. But I'd rather him rest and just be done because the season's worthless right now.
Agreed.
It's hard for me to even pick a winner in this game because I just don't know who the quarterback is. I don't think if Mitch plays, I don't think he's going to go out there and throw 3 picks again. Mitch can be a capable starter, but he really had a rough game. And Mason, maybe he plays. I think he can make some plays. The things that plagued Mason in the past were throwing behind receivers over the middle, but we haven't seen him play in this offense at all.
Yeah, it could be different.
Who knows what that looks like? And then Kenny, man, bro, I don't even know if he can see straight. Just had a concussion. I don't even know why he's practicing.
True.
Maybe he doesn't even have a concussion. The Steelers are kind of weird about keeping secrets from the public, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their deal is. But that's, guys, it's a weird year. It's a sad year. And at Big Ben's podcast, he had Pouncey on, and he said the Steelers don't rebuild, they reload. Kind of rebuilding. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I mean, Omar Khan did some really good things when he came in the offseason for the short time he was there. He needs to nail next offseason for us to be competitive. He really does.
Yeah, I agree.
And he needs to make, actual decisions. He needs to let people go, fire people. We need to make some actual decisions here.
Yep.
And you never know what could happen because I still believe, Chris, that this team has talent.
I do too.
But
I just think it needs to be coached better.
Yeah, coaching, drive, all of it. So that will do it for this week's weekly rant, exhausting as that is. Chris, let's go into the NFL picks for this week.
Let's do it.
Now, Chris and I picked 2 different games, different last week. We both each got one right, so I did not gain any leg on Chris's record. Chris is at 126. I am at 124. And let's get it rolling. Thursday night game actually is a good one for once.
No kidding.
You got San Fran with Brock Purdy against the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh. My MVP.
Let me just say real quick about Brock Purdy, because I saw a tweet by Filipponi about the Steelers should have drafted Brock Purdy in the 7th round instead of Chris Oladokun. Let me tell you something right now. If Brock Purdy, who's had 1.5 good games, if he becomes the next Tom Brady, he's Mr. Irrelevant. He wins even a Super Bowl is insane, but he wins 3 Super Bowls, right? And people are like, how did we pass on Brock Purdy? I can promise you right now, we would have mismanaged that situation. If we would have drafted Brock Purdy, he would not be on the team. He would have not stayed over Mitch and Mason because our coaching and our management of those players is bad. We're not good at scouting talent. So take that out of your head. If Brock Purdy becomes a legend and you ever think, why did the Steelers draft Purdy instead? We wouldn't have kept him. This is the situation he had to be in to play in the games. So, anyways, sorry. I just want to say that.
No, you're good.
San Fran at Seattle.
Sounds like a pretty good matchup. But I'm going to go. I wish I could go with Seattle. I'm going to go with San Francisco.
I got to.
I love Geno, and Geno's been playing amazing. I wouldn't be surprised. Somehow he's up for comeback player of the year, right? Like,
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I thought that was all injury, but I'm pretty sure he can do it because he's been out of a starting job for so long. But he's been playing amazing. I think he ranks first and second in a lot of areas. So I'd love to see Geno pull away with this, but I'm going to go with San Francisco.
I think I have to agree. I gotta go San Fran. Their defense is too strong. They're playing like a team. They're playing like a unit. This might be the strongest team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
They're playing like a complete, even with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy threw some dimes last week.
Yeah, he really did.
They're playing like a team, and that's what's important.
They're Purdy.
Colts at Vikings.
So I am going to pick the Vikings. They are very close. They haven't clinched yet, right? They need this win to clinch the NFC North.
I think so.
They need a win. I don't think the Colts are a very good team, but I mean it's hit or miss whether or not how they perform. So I'm going to go with the Vikings, but you never know.
As well. I'm going to go Vikings as well. Ravens at Browns. This one makes me mad.
Is Lamar playing?
No.
Probably. I don't know because
I think Huntley is playing. He's practicing.
You know what? I'm going to say the Ravens because Deshaun Watson is playing like booty cheeks, and the Ravens have a really good defense. So go Ravens.
That's my hope. See, the thing is with and Huntley's not a bad quarterback. He's coming off a concussion. If Anthony Brown's playing, it makes it really tough. It's like I got to pick Browns then, right? Because if there's some quarterbacks playing, it's like Deshaun in the run game. It's like I got to pick Browns. But my only saving grace, and maybe I'm just picking the Ravens too because I hate the Browns so much. I hope Watson loses every game he plays. But their defense is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they can really just shut him down and mix him around. And this is actually Deshaun's first home game, too. And it'd be really sweet to have his first home game against the Browns, and he just sucks. He gets picked off like 4 times.
That'd be sweet.
I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know what the Ravens offense looks like. I'm going to go with them as well, unfortunately. But I think I'm just more. It's more of a hope standpoint, I guess. I did not realize that these were Saturday games.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. That's great. I got a little family Christmas thing to go to, and I can watch football instead.
Very nice.
Dolphins at Bills.
Bills. They ain't losing again.
Oh, bold. Bold take. I am also going Bills. The Dolphins have been cooling off recently.
They have been. It's wintertime in Miami.
Well, okay, speaking of that, did you hear the joke, too, where the game they just played, they lost, right, against the Chargers? They had heaters on their side of the field, and it was 55 degrees there. They had heaters because they were cold. And now they're going to play in Buffalo, so good luck to you.
Oh my God. You're just going to see a giant-ass tent on their sideline.
Up next, you got Eagles at Bears in a Chicago massacre.
Eagles, all the way.
Yeah, even like if Justin Fields plays Eagles, because Justin Fields right now has a sickness. He's day to day. Lions at Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Let's go. I am too.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hoping you'd go Jets so we got something different, but I'm also going Lions. They got the hype right now.
Yeah, they really do. Plus, Jets are really not great lately.
Well, their defense is really good, and because they have a defensive-minded coach, but their offense is really not great.
Yeah.
Which sucks for them. I feel like maybe they need a quarterback.
I mean, also, we have a defensive-minded coach, but look how well that's working out for us. I mean...
Well, it's stale now. He's a new defensive coach.
Fair.
The thing is like some quarterback changes could happen this offseason, Chris. It makes you think, like... I love Kenny Pickett. I don't want to see him get rid of Kenny Pickett. But, like, if... Let's say Brock Purdy... Let's make believe that Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl this year. The San Fran?
Yeah.
What if they get rid of Trey Lance? What if the Jets get rid of Zach Wilson? What if the Oh, I had another team ahead. Oh, the Packers get rid of Jordan Love. You got 3 guys right here. Now, I'm not saying I'd start him over Kenny Pickett, but that's an interesting quarterback carousel to be available.
The only one I'd care to.
I was just gonna say I've even heard the Patriots maybe get rid of Mac Jones for some reason.
Yeah, definitely not. I'd say the only one I would care about to teeter the idea would be Trey Lance. Otherwise, the other 3, especially Mac Jones, Mr. Lego Head himself, is dead to me.
Anyways, Steelers at Panthers.
I'm gonna unfortunately pick the Steelers.
I am too, cause I am addicted to pain.
Yeah.
Up next is Chiefs at Texans.
It's gonna be a close one, but I think Chiefs by 50.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
By 50. Falcons at Saints.
Oh gosh, I think I said Falcons.
Interesting. Which is not, this is to me the most 50-50 split. And actually, Falcons is not a bad pick. I think I'm going to go Saints.
Maybe I said,
and I'm a little nervous
I'll go Falcons for this, yeah.
I'm a little nervous about doing Saints, but I'm doing it because they're home. And also the Falcons are starting Desmond Ridder for the first time.
The best quarterback out of the draft class.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm excited to watch him play. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go Saints for his first game.
Sure.
Cowboys at Jags.
This was tough because I think Jags have finally found their identity. But I am going to go with the Cowboys.
And no, I am too. I think the Cowboys are playing really strong as a team right now. But I really, really want to pick the Jags. I'm not going to pick the Cowboys. No. I really want to pick them. Because I agree, because Trevor Lawrence has thrown 10 touchdowns and 0 picks the past 3 weeks. I mean, he's lighting it up.
Seriously.
But I got to go Cowboys as well. Cardinals at Broncos.
I think I said Broncos.
I wasn't going to because of Kyler Murray's injury. I was going to pick, I was like, I'm easily going to pick whoever the Cardinals play against. Then I heard it was the Broncos, and I was like, oh, God. but I'm going to pick the Broncos as well.
Icky game. Gross game.
Yeah. Maybe Colt McCoy finds a way to win, but I'm picking Broncos. Patriots at Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, what's wrong with me, why I don't believe in the Patriots, even though they have a decent record, but I'm also picking the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is the case. Titans at Chargers.
Chargers.
I'm in too. I got Chargers as well. I also don't believe in the Titans.
No.
As decent as the record is. I don't really believe in the Chargers either, but it seems like they're kind of trying to find their groove. Bengals at Buccaneers.
Bengals.
Yeah, Buccaneers suck. I go Bengals.
Yeah.
Giants at Commanders.
Commanders, I guess.
Tie. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they tied again? The team has 2 ties. It's the same game, same teams.
Wow.
I'm going Commanders just because it's home.
Yeah.
I went Giants last time just because it's home. I'm going Commanders as well.
I have this weird feeling Giants will win, but I'm going to go Commanders.
And the last game on Monday Night Football, a game that when the people made the NFL schedule back in April, they were like, this game's going to bang. And this game actually sucks now. That's Rams at Packers.
Packers, I guess, just because they don't have a Glenn Perkins as their quarterback.
Well, see, the thing is like, if the Packers are playing Jordan Love, I think I'd more confidently pick them. But
yeah,
I'm still going to pick Packers. But, Baker Mayfield, he might have found his spunk, his spice.
I hope he does.
I'm picking Packers as well. So we have one game different. Yeehaw.
There it is.
That'll do it for this week's Northern Steel podcast. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Dominic. This is Chris. please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, on OnlyFans, on Grubhub, and on Chuck E. Cheese Rewards Club. Chris, you have any last words?
Go Steelers.
No Steelers. Okay. See you guys next week. Goodbye.
Peace.